Spoiler alert, this story contains spoilers for The Amazing Race Canada Season 6. If we needed any reminding, The Amazing Race Canada proved once again Tuesday night that you can't judge a book by its cover. Host John Montgomery prepares to start The Amazing Race Canada Heroes Edition at Hatley Castle on the Royal Roads University campus in Colwood, British Columbia. Uploaded by Deborah, Mark O'Neill, Bell Media. In the kickoff to Season 6, the Heroes Edition, the teams that ended up at the top and bottom weren't necessarily the ones you would have thought if you were letting stereotypes be your guide. The cheerleaders, Leanne Larson and Marlion, finished the leg in first place. Retired Air Force pilots Chewie Little and Happy Laverdiere were the ones who got eliminated. And Leanne's and Mar's biggest competition wasn't from someone like, say, ripped football coaches Dylan Elias and Kwame Owesi, but two other women, retired barrel racer Nancy Cesabay and former skeleton racer Melissa Hollingsworth. Article continued below. Based on all that, I'd say we're off to a good start. The race is at its best when it's unpredictable. Here's how it all shook out. We began with an extended getting-to-know-you segment before the 10 teams of heroes met host John Montgomery at the starting line, at Hatley Castle on the Royal Roads University campus in Colwood, British Columbia. Their first clue took them to the ferry docks for a trip to mainland BC and then to Squamish. At least one team has to get lost, right? This time it was Dylan and Kwame, who mentor kids through sport in Fort McMurray, Alta, and missed the ferry. But they had company since Navy colleagues Zainab and Sari and Monica Damien got lost on the drive to Squamish. Everyone eventually made it to the Sea to Sky gondola in Squamish and the top of Mount Habrick for the roadblock. Who wants to save a beaver? Never fear, it wasn't real life. Furry national symbols strung up 500 meters above the canyon floor, but stuffed animals that the racers had to grab by leaping off a bouncy mesh net on a bungee cord. Article continued. Delaware was Chewie's and Happy's first bit of bad luck. They were in the lead, but Chewie failed to snag his beaver on the first try. Calgary firefighter Adam Kovach and Brampton volunteer Akash Sidhu also needed second tries. Nancy and Leanne caught their beavers right away and their teams were first to the next roadblock. Beware of slivers. The next challenge was to climb an 80-foot pole at the Squamish Days Loggers Sports Festival and retrieve a clue at the top. Nancy's partner Melissa, whom it turns out she barely knows, and Leanne's partner and friend Mar were first to climb. It was a workout and a half, according to Mar, and Melissa complained she had slivers in her crotch, but they both made it and were off to the next task. No one had a harder time on the pole than Vancouver volunteer Martina Seo. "I am not fit," she said, nervously eyeing the height. "The type of challenges I'll be really great at will be baking or sewing. Can't say we've seen many of those on this show." Tearfully and almost quitting at one point, Martina inched her way up for her brother Phil. "I'm so proud of my sister, she didn't give up," he said. Likewise, nurse Courtney Berglund, who professed a terror of heights, pushed herself for the sake of fiancé Adam, although she made quicker work of it than Martina. Incidentally, these two may be the kissiest pair we've ever seen on The Amazing Race Canada. No action goes unrewarded by an "I love you," a smooch or a peck. Once everyone had climbed the pole, it was time to go crabbing. Pull up a crab. The teams had to drive to Darrow Bay, paddle out to buoys that marked crab traps, pull up a cage, then paddle it back to shore. If the critter was regulation size, it was off to the pit stop. If it was too small, it was back to the buoys to try again. The self-proclaimed Alberta Cowgirls were in first place, but they didn't realize that the buoys marked traps and paddled past them, giving Leanne and Mar a chance to get ahead. Several teams pulled up crabs that were too small and had to try again, including Chewie and Happy, Phil and Martina, and BCRC MP siblings Taylor and Courtney Collins. Eventually everyone hauled in big enough crabs, and the final 5 teams were neck-and-neck racing to the pit stop at the Britannia Mine Museum, which was once the largest copper mine in the British Empire. The finish, Leanne and Mar reached John first and won a trip for 2 to Tokyo. "You better start liking sushi," Mar told her partner. The two cheerleaders just won the first leg of the race, noted Leanne. Nancy and Melissa, a former teammate of John's and a fellow Olympic medalist, were right behind them, followed by cancer survivor Tad Kirk and girlfriend Anna Holtby, Dylan and Kwame, and Taylor and Courtney. Next came Zainab and Monica, Phil and Martina, and Adam and Courtney. Akash and friend Joseph Trong got lost on the drive but beat Chui and Happy in the foot race to the mat. For the guy whose call sign is Happy, you can't even wipe the smile off your face right now, Jen remarked. Happy did indeed still look happy, saying it was an honor to represent the men and women of the Air Force, with hugs all around, a couple of I love yous between the friends and a Wookiee sound, where Chui got his nickname. They headed off. The rest of the teams continue the race in Dawson City, Yukon, next week, where the first Express Pass comes into play. You can watch Tuesday at 8 p.m. On CTV. Deborah Yo is a deputy entertainment editor and a contributor to the Star's entertainment section. She is based in Toronto. Follow her on Twitter, @RealityO.